Scores of prisoners rearrested after being granted special remission, and drama at the Sandton City Mall. Good day to you. A total of 68 offenders released through presidential special remissions have been rearrested. And according to the Correctional Services spokesperson, Sibongile Khumalo, the men have been rearrested, committed crimes ranging from rape to housebreaking and kidnapping. Some 40,000 prisoners were released. Khumalo elaborates.
There were also 18 who were in for housebreaking and theft before the remission, and they are now back in custody for the following. 9 of them for housebreaking and theft, 1 for robbery, 2 for assault, 2 for stock theft, 1 for theft, 1 for possession of stolen goods, and 1 for possession of drugs, and 1 for housebreaking. There were 3 who were in for housebreaking before the remission, and they are now in custody for the following: 1 for rape, 1 for assault, 1 housebreaking and theft.
A Reuters poll shows that South Africa's current account deficit is likely to have swollen to 4.5% of GDP in the first quarter of this year, from 3.6% the previous quarter. Economists surveyed forecast that the deficit, due to be reported on Thursday, will have widened due mainly to reduced exports to Europe, South Africa's largest trading partner, which is struggling on through a debt crisis. The ANC in KwaZulu-Natal has called for a national convention on economic transformation. Provincial Secretary Zikalala says the land issue must also form part of discussions. The ANC in KwaZulu-Natal earlier came out against nationalization of mines. Zikalala says the proposed economic codesa must develop binding agreements on a comprehensive transformation agenda.
We believe the CODESA should be a forum of all people, representing all strategic sectors of our country: political parties, civic movement, the business sector, the labor. And we should emerge with something around the program or commitments on the implementation of the noble ideas of the Freedom Charter at an economic level.
Parts of the Sandton City shopping mall north of Johannesburg have had to be evacuated after a fire broke out in a restaurant. Johannesburg emergency officials have managed to put out the fire. It's still unknown what caused the blaze. Officials say the situation has been brought under control and shoppers are being allowed back in. Most of South Africa's youth don't want either Jacob Zuma or Tokyo Sexwale as president of the country, according to a survey released today. Insights company Pondering Panda says 64% of respondents rejected both. The survey has found that only 57% of respondents knew that Sexwale, who's a minister, was a politician or a businessman. When those who could identify Zuma and Sexwale were asked who they would want as president, 19% said President Zuma, 17% opted for Sexwale. The ANC will hold its national conference in December, when the president of the ANC will be elected. The Israeli defense minister says there's been a disturbing deterioration in Egypt's control of security along their border. He was speaking after an attack on a group of workers. The top story at 5 o'clock, a total of 68 offenders released through presidential special remissions have been rearrested.